Should I put it over here or not? I don't know. Let's try this. It's probably a bad idea. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road, eh? What's up, Zach? What's up, everyone? Look at my hair. So freaking messy. Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clocker. Yeah, I called game one. Yeah, I watched it. I had to watch a replay because I worked in the morning over here. Usually those games start in the West. West Coast games usually start around 10 o'clock. 10:30, so that's, in the middle of a working day usually when I'm on an early shift. Max, what's up, man? How are you? Christopher C, like always, man. How's it going? Soulboy60, how are you, man? Man, some old timers here. All these names. It's good to see. Bloody cold this morning. No sun at all. Raining, cold fingers. And then you gotta grab a barbell to finish you off. Oof. Cold. Rand, what's up? I don't know, Max. I don't know. I've had opportunities to get out of the shift work, but to be honest with you, I think nursing in the 9 to 5 world is also pretty shitty. 9 to 5, I think, is even worse than shift work. Stuck in traffic. Saturdays to Sundays, you're only available then. The pay's bad. And you're just kind of doing what everyone does. And like, I can't even imagine like all of your free days are everyone else's free days. So like, it will be just, I don't know, just different. Can you guys see the rain? Yeah, I've had some cramping. Yeah, I've had some cramping, man. When was the last time I had a cramp? I had a hemi cramp on bench press. That night was pretty bad for me. It was, on the verge of cramping the whole night. Jordan, what's up, man? I miss you too, dude. Are you still going to Derry's? You still going to Dermot's, the Mecca? Yeah, there you go. You can hear it. At least the microphone's doing well, huh? Is the microphone working? I didn't even test it before I did this. 1 2 1 2. Does it work? Does it sound clear? Zaya, what's up? Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Oh, still at the Mecca. Nah, Jordan. I've not been back. I don't know. It's been probably 5 months now. Um, just fell out of the routine, man. The kids started going to school, and yeah, it's just less and less time available, man. Like I feel like every day there's something on with the kids. The kids are growing up now, and they play basketball, they do swimming, and it's like every day. And you know, Derrimits is not too far away, but like it's whatever, 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out. I feel like it's just easier to just do it at home. So, as soon as I walk out here, bang, start doing sets. So, but maybe when the little one goes to school as well, then I'll have like clean blocks of free time. But the little one, every day off that I have, I've got the little one with me. So, hero aesthetics, man. Thank you, dude. Rallying the troops. Do you think it's better to do power cleans before deadlifts or before front squats? Well, usually people say, you know, you do power before strength, you know, to fire up the central nervous system and whatnot, but I don't know, man. Over the years, I've kind of worked out what works well for me for the deadlift. And I've never felt cleans do that, because cleans, if you're pushing cleans, like, you know, that will take something out of you as well. And I think deadlifts, you always want to kind of go in with your best strength available. So for me, over the years, man, I've kind of played around with all these different ideas of, to this day, that's probably my most interesting topic to discuss. Like, some movements make other movements better. They kind of facilitate certain movements. So I remember when the first time I hit 240 on the deadlift, I'll never forget it, man. I was like laying cable hip flexor curls, I call them. So like I would hook up on my foot, like around on a cable machine, and like slide down the floor, so there's tension even like in the resting position, and then I would like do knee raises on the ground. And I remember like there was a little period there that I was doing that, and I would like really, really pump up the hip flexors, and then every time I would go to the deadlift, it would feel amazing. So, and you know, I think it's those little isolation exercises that are the best before deadlift, just to bring something up, just to kind of fire something up so you feel stronger in the movement. But doing something like power cleans, that uses a lot of quads, glutes, lower back, like all of that. And it just maybe takes too much away from the primary movers. But things like hip flexors, I've also messed around with like glute medius stuff to feel more glutes during the pull. That also kind of felt pretty good. Another big one also for me was, again, similar to hip flexors, just sit-ups, good old sit-ups. That also kind of made my lower back feel strong as well. So, yeah, like those things I always kind of think about. There's always something that can make that movement that you're trying to do a little bit better. Like for instance, what I'm doing right now, just some lateral raises, that tends to make my shoulder girdle feel better for benching. Versus if I just went cold into the bench press, it would feel a bit wonky and funky. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I think about it. I always do some sort of, like if I want to do a deadlift PR today, I don't just start pulling. I do something before it. And that something needs to be something that makes sense to you for whatever weakness you have. Like if you're off the floor, weak like me, then probably you need to think about some hip flexors, lower back, quad, maybe even tibialis anterior, something that just makes sense for you off the floor. For me, glutes, hamstrings, like that top end of the lift, I don't think I need that. Like that to me is always an easy part, you know. Yeah, reverse squats. Yeah, excellent. That's exactly what I'm thinking. What's on the docket today? It's 12 hours after the last session, so I'm kind of skeptical about my bench press today. But I'm going to try and get at least one set of 23, and then just a very short squat routine, and then I got to run out of here, go to work. So nothing crazy, no deadlifting. My butt's sore from deadlifts yesterday. And my traps are, everything's kind of sore now with deadlifts in the mix. But yeah, I'll try and, I don't know how many sets of bench I'm going to do today. Probably not many. Those night routines leading to a day routine, like a morning routine, they're always the toughest because there's just, it's too close together. Richard, trying your volume, doing 2 plates, 2 sets of 20 instead of the heavier 5x5 singles. Yeah, Richard, I think that's the path, man. That is the path. The assumption that I've made for myself is, sure, 5x5, singles, doubles, triples, you use your heavier weights. But the way I think about it, and this is how I kind of told the story to myself, they just say, whatever, you're the same as me, and your goal is to hit 300 kilos on the squat. Do you think your current base is wide enough to support that? As in, do you have enough muscle? The answer is no. Of course you don't. Neither do I. So build the base enough for 300, and then start fine-tuning the strength aspect. That's how I think about it. And I'm just in the business of getting those bases big, wide, you know. Please carry on. I don't know if it's 100 kilos. The philosophy of an exceptional, normal working family man is priceless. Thank you, man. Luke, appreciate that. Joseph. What are you on about, Joseph, man? Little man, little bro. Why are you even here if you're going to talk like that? If you're going to talk like that, bro, just unsubscribe and you have a good life. We don't need that negativity. Lucas, this guy is aging like crazy. Guess you would expect that. I'm not the champ. What's up, Ivan? Lucas, is the end times, build your fortress. That's it. AI, aiming for one set of 100, one rep of 100 bench in the next few months. I'm at 85 at the moment. By getting my 3x8 at 60% to 3 times 20 at 60, I've got cooked shoulders also, hence the ridiculous reps. Oh yeah, those, reps is another thing altogether, man. Absolutely. Richard, I'm committed for the rest of the year to do your nice, man. Let's both of us. Let's do it. Let's see where we end up. I'm quite confident that we're going to be with more muscle tissue. We're going to be stronger. You can't miss. You can't miss with rep work, man. You just simply can't. Can we get 2,500 squats for it? Oh, dude, that's impossible. I would struggle with even 1,000 reps. I would struggle with 1,000 reps, man. That is a lot of freaking reps. Arian, reverse hyperextensions. I've never really given them a go, man. I don't have the machine. I know you can rig them up at home with the GHD and whatnot, but I've never really done those. But I'm interested to see. I think there is a gym here that I've recently learned. Not recently, I've learned about that's got them. So maybe I'll do like a casual visit in a gym like that and just suss it out. Spend a good hour, excuse me, spend a good hour with it and see what I think. It sounds interesting, man, definitely. And if Louis Simmons, was recommending it, I'm interested as well. Why not? RDLs, yeah, so like RDLs, GHD, reverse hyper, all that stuff is pretty much in the same ballpark. But I think what the reverse hypers do, they kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like at the end of the movement there's like this follow through of the weight and stretches your lower back. So for people with lower back pain, theoretically speaking, it's very, very good for that. Am I still around 100 kilos? Yeah, I'm about 104 kilos right now. All this high rep stuff has added a few more kilos to the frame. I've filled out, man. My legs have never been the same like this. My chest, I can't recognize my chest ever being like that. Doing the 100 kilos for a shit ton of reps has changed my upper body. There's thickness there now. Yeah, so 104, 105 is kind of where I am. Yeah. Yeah, just generally everything feels better with high reps. Michael, pendlay rows, I haven't really done too much pendlay rows. For me, it's just normal rows. Oh, probably like by the time I get to 110, 120 kilos, and that's not me just being a fat dude. I don't want to look like that, but probably it's going to end up looking like that, which is probably end up not me getting to 300 kilos. Yeah, I suspect that my current body weight is not strong enough for 300. No way. And most natural lifters that are squatting 300 that already have, they're fluffier, much fluffier. So, yeah. Yeah, cancer, absolutely. The high rep stuff absolutely has increased my appetite. And just like general health, like when you do a lot of work, as in repetitions and volume, you generally feel better because you're more active, you're breathing harder, you're exercising. You know, like when you're doing singles, doubles, and triples, that's not like real exercise. You know what I mean? There's no cardiovascular component to it. You just do a rep, rack it, and you maybe breathe hard for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then you're good again. When you're doing this stuff that I'm doing currently, man, you are huffing and puffing for most of the session. It's just non-stop. And so that is healthier work. And so with that healthy aspect of it, more food, more burning, you know, just everything gets better. More circulation, just health, you know? I'll do another one of those, and that's a warm-up done. Keeping on. I've been struggling to progress while working construction with prior injuries, herniated disc. If you want to wait to train, the sky's the limit for anyone committed. Nice, Luke. Yeah, you're spot on. If you've got a herniated disc, you know, I imagine that that's going to take most of your focus on structuring your workouts around, you know, your anterior core, posterior core, you know. But we all have something that we need to work on. You just hammer away at that. You know, for a long time I had hip pain, and most of my sessions would be structured around that, which is one of the reasons I never really bothered around bench press and all the rest of those things, because I was so consumed by trying to work out the hip pain. So I did 1,000,001 different freaking variations for the hip, all these different thoughts. But regardless of what you do, you're still doing something. You know, somebody that has shoulder issues probably spends a lot of time with shoulder stuff. And we just keep on. What is fatigue like doing 100 kilos for 20 squat versus bench? Oh, dude, completely different. Bench is like twice as hard. Twice as hard. You know, I can bang out 100 bench right now, set of 20 every day for 5 sets, every day. If I was to do 5 sets of 20 with 100 kilos on squats, I'd be dead. There's no way I'll be able to do that every day. Absolutely not. I'll be sore as shit. That's one of the things that I've learned through this last few months of training, is that squats and deadlifts are much, much more difficult for rep work. Much more difficult. The capacity for your upper body to do rep work is on another level. You know, smaller muscles involved, less range of motion involved, and just less cardiovascularly demanding, so you can repeat the same work over and over again. Squats and deadlifts, you're using the big freaking juicy muscles, quads, you know, adductors, hamstrings, glutes. All of that stuff requires so much freaking oxygen. You need like 4 or 5 sets of lungs freaking to be on the same recovery as what the bench press is doing. So, you know, even though I would love to train the deadlift and squat to 20s and 30s, I've realized over the last 2-3 months that I was just spinning my wheels. It's just too cardiovascularly demanding, and the heart and lung ended up being a rate limiting step rather than whatever muscle group that I was training. So I've now dropped it to 10s on the deadlifts. I'm currently doing it every other day for sets of 5 sets of 10. And now I feel like I will progress with that a lot better, purely because I'm still breathing hard, but it's not on the same level as 20s. So I've increased the weight, dropped the reps, and now it's feeling a little bit better. So hopefully that deadlift starts to move, squats start to move. But still, you know, I still call it high repetitions, right? 10s I feel like are high reps. But for the bench press, that would be too low, in my opinion. It would be too low, and I'll be using a much heavier weight. And with that much heavier weight comes strains and pains in the shoulders and the elbows, With 20s, I'm still kind of using a weight that is not going to hurt me, and I'll be able to reproduce that effort quite often without any of the worries. So that's kind of why I do what I do with these reps. That's to kind of keep healthy. All right. Nice little warm up of the shoulders. Now, where am I going to put you guys? That's the next question. I want to mix it up a little bit today. Maybe I'll try and plonk you here somewhere. Something like that, eh? Is that going to work, I wonder? Let's see. Yeah, cancer, definitely. The super high reps on squats, exhausting. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that super heavy weight should never be done. Do it. But in terms of, the split between the two, I think the vast majority of your time should be spent with like high repetitions. For me, when I think back, my God, I spent so long just doing singles. Come in, single bar, single 60, single 100, single 120, 140, 160, 180. If I'm lucky, 200 single. After that, I'd maybe do some back down sets of like 3s, 4s, and 5s, whatever. And for most of the time, I never did back off sets either. And then, I just went down the path of, let's do some accessories, and now the realization is, holy shit, why do I think so much of these accessories? It's not so much the accessories, it's the reps that I'm doing the accessories with. So like, do your primary shit and just use better repetitions, and all of a sudden they become the accessory. Okay, once a week, once a fortnight, whatever, once a month, doesn't really matter. Go for the single. The last time I tried 160 has been probably 3-4 weeks ago now. And I don't really want it. What's the point of doing another single, or one rep max attempt? I already know that I'm not ready for it. I haven't hit some of these milestones that I need to hit for me to kind of feel good, right? Like when I hit 30 kilos with 100 kilos, 30 reps with 100 kilos, I'll know there's been some progression. So you can sense progression in many different things. Like you don't need to see only one rep maxes lift. Like if your freaking 100 kilos goes from 20 freaking reps to 40, some absurd amount, you double it. Who in their right mind is going to say, oh yeah, your one rep max hasn't gone up? Even in the unpeaked state that you might be in, you are stronger, dude. There's just no ways about it. People wanting to fight people in the gym. I love it. A lot of people think that they can fight just because they can squat and deadlift. And these are silly people. They've got nothing to do with anything. Oh, God. Now, can you guys even see me? I'm upside down here. That's a funky view, isn't it? Oh, God. God, this position here, I could sleep 12 hours right now. Opens the lats, stretches the thoracic spine, stretches the hip flexors, the quads. I reckon I want to sleep one night on this bench like this. I reckon the next day I wake up and I don't have anterior pelvic tilt anymore. I reckon some of these beds that we sleep on screw us over. Too soft. All right. Can you guys even see? I wish I could read upside down. That would be handy. What do I do with the microphone? What if I put it here? Let's try that. Putting microphones. I think that was 3. I generally do 5. Some people think that's a lot, but get them nice and warm. Oh, one more. So everything needs to be burning. I've warmed up the shoulders, the traps, now the pecs and the anterior deltoids. I even start to feel like my wrists and my forearms with all these reps, and then I know that everything is nice and warm, lubricated, ready for weight. And my hip flexors have stretched a little bit for the leg drive. All right. And so now, we add some weight. Oh yeah, hitting PRs is the best feeling. But you can't get addicted to it. You can't become a fiend. You can't chase those hits too often. You gotta be patient and earn those dopamine hits. Yeah, Richard. It makes sense. It makes sense. Look, everyone is different. Everyone is going to have examples of people growing with 5x5. Everyone's going to have examples of people growing with whatever, singles. You know, there's freaks everywhere. But I think for the general population, people that are not born to lift, people that are not, you know, freaks like that, I think volume is the way to go. You know, you could argue that you'll find examples of supreme athletes using whatever method, but you could probably argue the same thing for those same people. Will probably, you know, any method will work. There are people walking the earth that are just gifted for certain things. And so, you know, you quickly learn in this game that you're not some freak. You know, after the year of lifting, you know, people are going from bloody not doing anything to like doing 500 pounds in the deadlift within the first year. Holy shit, that was not me. It took me a long, long while. I had to scratch and claw for everything that I've gotten, and lots of plateaus, lots of learning, lots of pain. And you learn. And then obviously there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and you listen to those opinions, and you get stuck in some of those thoughts, thinking that it's the gospel, it's the truth. And it takes you a long, long time for you to realize that that's not correct, at least for me. And you got to kind of go out and venture in your own way. And on top of all of that, we all live different lives, you know. You know, the circumstances that I have are different to a lot of people who are interested with the same type of personality and needs and wants and whatever. And so you kind of need to take all that into consideration, you know. Everyone's different. And you can't just follow your neighbor. You can't follow the guy in the squat right next to you and expect to be happy. You just gotta, you know, work it out yourself. Sick as a dog. Johnny, you're sick. Damn. Sorry to hear, Johnny. I know that feeling all too well. Hang in there. Serbia to Tokyo. What's going on? Do I have all of your fingers? Yeah, pretty much, except the thumb. I don't have the thumb. I don't have the thumb. Sometimes the pinky pops out. Depends on how I'm feeling, how tight the forearms are, but yeah. Yeah, the natty fitness influencer is dying breed on social media. Oh, that's for sure, man. But if you are in it for the love and you want to share your passion and you're not interested in the Ferraris and becoming this, hot shot, then nothing can stop you. Absolutely nothing can stop you. I think a lot of people get discouraged about, I'm putting a lot of time into this and I'm not getting anything out of it. Every video that I put out, I get $2. What the hell is that? I'm making 30, 60, $100 a bloody month. What is that shit? For me, it's like, whatever, man. Whatever. I don't care about those things. I love the game for what it is, and that's it. It just depends. It's like a lot of stuff in life is just a mindset, man. It's a mindset. Is this going to be my breadwinner? It never has been. It never has been. I've been fortunate enough that, like, on this YouTube journey, I've had enough following and enough connection with people that I've had some money from it. And so I was able to, like, buy plates and a new barbell and things that fit into the channel. That's kind of amazing for me, But am I going to buy a new house from the YouTube channel or, do all these wonderful things, open up a gym? No, that's not something that I don't see myself ever doing. But maybe a lot of people get disheartened because, they're like, what's the point of giving 30 hours of this in a week and you get nothing out of it? It's like less than minimum wage. Well, stop doing it then. Like, I don't know what to tell you. For me, whether this camera is on or not, I'm doing what I'm doing. I always go back to this. Like, whether you guys are watching, whether I'm talking to you guys or not, I'll probably be here still training. Training is me. That's me. So for me, it's not very hard to flick on the camera and chat. It's not hard at all. That's kind of how I think about it. But we're all different, man. I don't know. Do what your soul tells you to do. And a lot of fitness influencers give out. Oh no, you can't say. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, I'm blessed. I love everyone. The connection is amazing. Man, some of the chats I've had over the years, I will say it, like, this training wouldn't be as fun if I didn't have the community, for sure. Absolutely. Because, like, you think about it, okay, I don't have the channel, I don't have the community, then it's just me in a dark room, garage, sitting here training my own thoughts, no one to bounce these ideas off of, like. And many years I was like that. And then I started the YouTube channel, and I remember the first guy that I started talking to, I was like, sick, because I don't really have a lot of people, I don't have any people in my life, in my private life, that, like, close people that I talk to about lifting. It's just me. It's just me, man. Like, and so that aspect of the community is freaking amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And that's the bit I don't understand about fitness influencers. It's like, isn't that amazing by itself? I don't know. All right. Oh, God, what's happening here, man? Is my chair moved? Hitting my head every time now. Oh. All right, let's see how this feels. This is going to tell something. I might be able to do something. Might be able to do something here. Let's see. Load up 100 and take it for a spin, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. We are probably all similar, you know, and that's why we're in this community. You know, we're all kind of in the same, you know, in the circles. You know, we love the training. We've got all the same responsibilities, family, work, university. We're all kind of grinding it out. And this is on the side. Maybe one or two of us in this community, like in my personal community, is very, very good and maybe like elite. I don't know. Like when I say elite, I'm talking about like fighting for national records and things. But like even those people probably still have a job, probably still, you know, got it, you know, everything else in life. And so whether you're lifting 200 kilos on this bench press or 100 or 60, you still got to put the work in. You still got to rock up and like we're all doing the same shit. It's just, okay, some people are stronger than others. But you're still putting in similar hours and still trying to think about food, still trying to think about recovery. It's all the same shit. Like everyone's doing the same shit. Sure, some people are better. Cool, no worries. Some people have trained 20 years instead of 5 years, instead of 1 year. But we're all kind of doing the same thing. You know, it's just whatever. Yeah, cancer, that's probably true. Yeah. The consistency or obsessed with lifting. Yeah. Oh, there's so many other things you could be doing in life, you know. And I think this is a pretty good use of time. You know, considering what other people get, you know. You know, I I saw something the other day. There was a couple of dudes on a live. There was a video on YouTube, and they were shooting slingshots. You know, those little, I think it's called a slingshot, like a little rock and like a little V thing. You know, one guy was outside, another guy was inside, and I thought that guy inside's got a whole setup. You know, he's got a target and he's got all these things. And I thought, wow, so he's part of a community of slingshots. You know, it's just like whatever, man. Like people get excited about whatever. There's so many different communities. Some people like cars, and then within cars, like there's people that are into Honda Civics. Some people that are into like whatever. You gotta do something, man. And I think this is the best one. All right, a handy. I'm just wondering whether I put this a little bit closer. Whoop. Where do you put this? Where do you bloody put it? I don't know if that's the best bit. My head's gonna be there. That's already similar anyway. All right. Oh man, I'm gonna be sore from this. That was tough. Maybe I've got another one in there. Maybe. Too close between sessions. Yeah, midnight stories. Yeah. Charles, oh, welcome. Welcome to the ED, man. Leo, good stuff, man. Luca, you're a freaking giant, 6'8". Luca, I would probably bet that your lower back is too weak to maintain the flat back. So, especially at 6'8", I'd spend a lot of freaking time pulling. RDLs, hyperextensions, reverse hypers, anything like that. Good mornings. All of that stuff is for you, especially at that height and the length of your back. The reason why your lower back tilts is because your lower back is not strong enough to maintain that flatness. As you flex the hips, there's going to be more and more pressure on the lower back, on your core essentially, to maintain that flat back. And if the back starts to unzip itself and start to curve, that means that hip flexion force is overpowering the lower back strength. So you got to do that. You got to strengthen your back. When you develop a really, really strong back, that back is going to stay stable. Pennsylvania, never made a live stream before. This is cool. How's the bench coming along? Travis, how you going, man? I'm really smashing the bench at the moment, man. It's really, really feeling good. It's flying. I'm progressing really well, even in the chaos of my life of shift work back and forth. You know, last night at 9 o'clock I finished the training session, and this morning at 10 o'clock I'm starting another training session with the same bench. So I'm benching every day basically. Today should have been a no bench day, but here I am benching. I wanted to see how I go with, 12, 13 hours of rest. And I just managed to hit one set, and it was tough. So I might just do one more set of 23 with 100, and I'll call it there. I don't know, we'll see. You never know. I'll see how the next set goes, how I maintain my positioning. And if it feels shit, I'll stop. If it doesn't, I might try a third. Luka Doncic in the chat. Luka's working on his physique now as well. If he gets fit and strong, he's already strong. If he just gets a bit more endurance so he can survive longer into the season, watch out. MVP, man. MVP coming up. Man, I was so surprised by Pacers, man. Man, that team is special. I really, really would love Pacers to win. I would love it. I think OKC deserve it. They've been the best all year. But OKC is a nicer watch. For me, I tend to like them more. It'll be really cool to see a team like that with no true superstar win it. It'll be so cool. Shea's a beast. Lou Dort is an absolute stud. Probably one of the best defenders in the NBA. And they're stacked. They got Chet. They got Jalen Williams. They got heaps of players that play really well. But the style of Pacers might be just too different. I don't know. It's interesting. What's your height and weight? I am 100 and probably 4 or 5 kilos today. 185 centimeters, 104 centimeters, something. 184, something like that. Do I train pull-ups? No. Nope, not currently. In the past, I've done lots and lots of pull-ups. But if I wanted to train my back really, really well, rows. Rows are the best. Yeah, paces don't give up at all. Absolutely, man. They're like, I don't know how many times they've come back, and they always come back with like this balls out. Like, I don't give a shit, I'm shooting this. What's his name? The Canadian guy in paces. What's his name? The Canadian guy, he hit a shot in Shay's face. And he was like, left, right, through the leg, ba, 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 step back 3. And I was like, damn. That man, Nimhart. He hit that shot and I'm like, damn, he's not scared at all. Like, that is amazing. NBA finals, he just takes the ball and takes over. It was amazing to see. You can't have scaredy cats in a game like that. You just got to go for it. Wearing my Celtics shirt right now. Shame what happened to Tatum. Very, very. Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to repeat. I thought they were going to be in the finals for sure. Weird. Like, also Cleveland got injured. Boston got injured. Milwaukee got injured. The Nuggets were all beaten up. Everyone's broken. Who else? It was strange. But anyway, that's part of the game. That's part of the game, man. Oh. Nah, I never overhead press. I get that question quite a lot. I don't think the overhead press carries over all that well to bench press. I've tried many times. I really, really wanted for that to be true, but in my experience, overhead press doesn't do shit for bench. But the other way is true. The other way is definitely true. Bench absolutely improves your overhead. All my life, I've been hearing the opposite to that. Do a lot of overhead press and your bench will go up. Not for me, it didn't. Not for me, man. Ooh. Oh man, I'm yawning so much. Luca, why is that? There's many reasons, but the number one reason is when you're hanging from a bar and then you pull up, you can pull up with your shoulders being up. So you can do one of these. I don't know if you can see. So I can do pull-ups like this. Of course, you can do pull-ups when you push your lats down, and you can do pull-ups like this. But too often when I get tired in pull-ups, I end up just doing shrugs. So I pull up and my shoulders rise, and I'm kind of doing this, and I'm pulling up to the bar like all shrugged up instead of down. The reason why that's important is because if I finish the pull-up short like this, what are my lats doing? Sweet fuck all. They're not doing anything. I'm doing pull-ups, using my biceps, I'm using teres minor and major and all that stuff, but I'm not training the lats. And I think most people do pull-ups because of the lats. But when it gets tough, the lats come off. That's a problem. With rows, you can't row with shoulders up like this. No. Like that makes it freaking harder to do that. Not easier like in pull-ups. Especially when you do underhand and you're pulling low, you're trying to pull low, and so the lats stay low and contract. And when you train your lats, the bench press improves, the deadlift improves, the squat improves, everything improves. So for me, pull-ups, yeah, they're sexy, cool. And if you're really disciplined, you could probably get away with pull-ups. But rows do not allow me to cheat. I can use my lower back momentum, but guess what? When that weight drops back down again, I have to initiate it again with, that's just all lats. All lats. And so That's just the feeling side of it. And then my anecdote is that every time I've done pull-ups, spent a lot of time with pull-ups, basically nothing improves. Nothing. It's just like in a vacuum. Cool, no worries. I'm good at pull-ups. Fantastic. Tap on the shoulder. But when I do rows, freaking everything improves. And I've had multiple periods of my training where that is the case. I'll do rows, fucking everything feels good, man. Everything improves. Now, rows are a piece of shit exercise. They suck. I feel like I'm laboring in the field, you know, feels like labor, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. All right, let me try to hit another set here. Oh, God, another set. Fuck, I think that was 24. Fucking lost count. Oh, Lord, I hate losing count. I think that was 24. I don't know if any of you boys counted. Anyway, I'm happy with that. That's not a lot of rest between sessions and 2 sets. I forgot, do you use straps for rows? Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Always for rows straps. Whoops. You don't want anything else to limit your rows but your lower back and your lats. Nothing else. You don't want grip to screw you over. Grip is always going to fail you first. You leave half of the gains on the table when you don't use straps. There you go, you counted. Thank you, man. Yeah, I thought it was 24. I can lost count. I got to 18 and I was like, shit, was that 17 or 18? Then I did 18 again. Yeah. That might have cost me another set. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try for a third. 5 plus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get 20. Yeah, interesting. Interesting you got lift to do that. So, interestingly enough, man, I kind of did similar when I was doing the AMRAPs with squats. Man, every time I'm there like, holy shit. I'm so focused on breathing and surviving in the next rep. Always lost count. And so then what I did was I'll go, okay, how many reps can I get clean before I start getting dizzy and shit? So I was like, you know what? I reckon I can get 6 good reps with 180 and then things get really hazy. Okay, let's count that. And then we'll start from 0 again. Then I'll go to 4. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Take a breath. And then we're at 0 again. and then 1, and then 2, then 3, then 4. Cool. When I get to 10, it's a 0 again, start again. It's so funny how counting becomes so difficult. It's just you're so depleted. You're so freaking depleted that, you know, your brain stops working. Oh, you saw 23. Well, in that case, I'm happy I did an extra one. Oh, cancer, for sure. That was a really, really good period. And I think about that period quite often. But the thing about that period that I still don't understand is how that didn't equate to a PR. But it didn't. Straight after that, I remember I got sick. And then nothing happened. Maybe down the track, I kind of eventuated in a 215 somehow. Months and months and months removed, but who knows? Hadi, since starting BJJ multiple times a week, do you have any tips for managing fatigue and making gains? Oh, Hadi, man, you got to pick a lane, dude. You got to pick a lane. You can't be a Olympic weightlifting champion and also an F1 driver and also a mathematician PhD. You have to pick a freaking lane, man. I wish I could do everything as well. I wish I could continue to play basketball 2-3 times a week and do this. You can't, dude. We need to make a mature decision of how we want to look, what we want to do, what qualities in life we want to pursue, and then you stick to that lane. BJJ is, I've never done it, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I've definitely seen a lot of UFC. That is a technique-driven sport. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of, you know, on the mat time, a lot of fatigue. That's going to take a lot of your resources, man. So if you're doing all of that, then your training needs to just be a support somehow. I don't know what that looks like, but I don't imagine you're going to be caring too much about your progress on the bar if you're focused 100% on that, which is fine. Like, whatever, man. You know, being a BJJ black belt is also really, really cool. Absolutely, I tip my hat to that. But it's going to be very hard for you to you know, progress your bench and your squat and your deadlift and also become a black belt in, you know. It's just, it is what it is. You know, I miss basketball a lot, man. You know, I really, really miss basketball a lot, but I can't do it, man. You know, I remember a time that I tried to, you know, commit to both, and I ended up fracturing both my freaking ankles a year apart. You can't. Like, I'm fucking dead in the gym. Back then I was doing 5x5 and all sorts. I'm dying in the gym with these fucking squats and deadlifts and bench. And then I go over, like, to play basketball, my hips are fucked. Like, my sensory is screwed. I can barely walk. And then rolled my ankles, man. Like, you know, so then I was like, cool, one or the other. And I made a decision and that was it. Just the way it is. You know, it's like, what do you want to do? How do you want to look? What do you want to feel like? You know? And for me, it was like, okay, do I want to be that 40-year-old basketball guy still playing social? Or do I want to be strong, big upper back, big legs, big deadlift bench, like all that stuff? I was like, all right, cool. You know, I've given, you know, 12 years of my life to basketball already. So how about I just do something else now? You know, and the cool thing about powerlifting, let's say, is that, you know, I can still compete at a higher level if I was to get good. You know, in this, when I'm 40, like basketball, I can't make the NBA at 40 in basketball. So, yeah, anyway, it's all personal and whatever. You only have so much time and energy for multiple pursuits, especially when married with kids. Absolutely, that's another angle of this. You're single with no kids, go for it though. Yeah. Have you given thought to more 180 AMRAPs, aiming for set of 20 this summer? Yeah, definitely. Spot on about the summer bit. Yeah, this summer, it needs to be a summer thing. Because that is a grueling existence. I still have PTSD from those fucking moments. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that, but like I keep getting stuck on the idea of what was failing me. So before I attempt another period like that, I really want to make sure that I do my homework. I want to make sure that I've addressed whatever was lacking. For instance, my upper back. I don't want to have to go through that shit where I was doing 180 AMRAPs and then I discovered my upper back was weak. And then in between those days, I'm there trying to like bring up my upper back with the ongoing fatigue of the AMRAPs. Nah, I want to go into that period and I've already developed a strong back to survive. You know, so I got to do my homework. So that period needs to be preceded by lots of rowing, lots and lots of fucking rowing, and lots of like glute work. I reckon, you know, rowing and some sort of glute work, GHD, or even high rep deadlifts or something like that to really prep me for that. Because those are the things that fail. It's the glutes and by far the upper back. That shit needs to be, I need to pour cement through those regions in order to survive that, you know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Pineapple on pizza. I never liked mixing those two things. I never enjoyed it. I mean, I'll eat it, whatever, but it's a funky feeling. I don't particularly like pineapple on pizza, but whatever. I'm not a picky eater, man. I'll fucking eat anything, man. But yeah, it's not my favorite, for sure. That's for sure. Oof. I gotta get ready for this next set. And then I don't know if I'll be able to make this next 23. Before these third sets, there's a bit of nerves. Like I'm not certain I'll be able to get it. Which tells me I don't have a lot of reps in reserve with these last sets. All right, time to get on with it. Oh, God. I could fall asleep in a second. In a damn second. Oh. Fuck yeah. I'm happy with that shit. Oh. All right, we did it, boys. Made it. 3 of those sets. No. 21. Oh, don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me, ego, man. Oh. Nice. Thank you. 23. Awesome. I thought I counted that one well. I spent half of my energy trying to count well. Oh. Oh man, I've got dead arms now. Oh, today's not the day to calculate that. I don't know, probably on that set, maybe one more. But yeah, not many. I've just increased that intensity. I was doing sets of 20 for a little while there. And I've even done like 9 sets of 20. But now with this new sets of 23, I'm getting closer and closer to reps in reserve. Thank God, ego. I'm glad you're wrong. Oh, goodness. Usually I miss by 1, but to miss by 2 on the count, shit. What was it? Like, what was I doing? I always miss the rep count by 1. You know? Oh yeah, Hadi, I did read that question about training your elderly parents or grandparents, was it? I can't remember. Yeah, man, start really light. Sets of 20 and 30 is fine. You don't have to trade them with weights. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday at work about it, and they were asking about weightlifting, and I said, don't even touch the weights. Can you do a push-up? No. Can you do a pull-up? No. Can you do 20 bodyweight squats? No. Start there. What's up, Nick? Appreciate it, man. You got to be crazy about something in life, I feel. You don't want to be one of those dudes that's got nothing going on. Fucking do something. Be crazy about something. You know. If you got nothing going on, what the fuck are we doing? What are we living for? Do something. You gotta do something. There's just no way, Jose, that we don't do anything. Gotta do something. Oh man. I really should do some reps now with this bar, but I won't. I'll just put on some singles and that's it, run out of here. Oh. You know, I've got sore glutes from yesterday's deadlift workout, those dead stop deads. And I always like squatting when I have sore glutes. I feel more stacked. It feels It feels like I'm in a better position when the glutes are talking to me. So let's see it. 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates, right? One plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, 4. And this right now literally feels like just shooting free throws. There's no workout going on here. Just stretch with weight on top of you. Save yourself for tomorrow's deads. But if I was to let this go and not do any squatting, I'd feel wrong. Every day I have to go into that deep squat. Feel it, stretch it. Squat. Yeah. All right. Slow it down. Oh, I felt the glutes there. Felt them. Alrighty. Doing squats with a pumped chest. It's an experience. Oh yeah, that lower back is tired. That lower back is tired. Alrighty. And that's the session right there. Quick session. What was it? An hour? Hour and 20? Oh no, it's got a counter on there. Yeah. Hour and almost 30 minutes, 26 minutes. All right, guys, that is it. I have to now get in the house, get ready, and go to work. Go to work, put the hours in at the hospital, and that's my day. Like always, appreciate you all for chilling with me. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow, same time tomorrow. I've got another late shift tomorrow, so if you're free, jump on. We'll do some, probably similar tomorrow. Probably a similar thing tomorrow. And the days go by just like that. Appreciate you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.